Good morning, everyone. My name is Melinda Harvey. I did my presentation on Home Depot Inc. And just to start off, I wanted to get into their history. They were founded in 1978 by Bernie Marcus and Arthur Blank. They started off in Atlanta, Georgia, with only 2 department stores, and from there they grew as one of the biggest and best home shopping centers in the nation. Their store vision is do-it-yourselfer. They really thrive on trying to push their customers to, do things themselves and don't look for outside help, but come in and look at the factors of you can do it yourself for a lot less than what somebody else brought in can do for you. They publicly started trading on the NASDAQ on 1981 and moved over into the New York Stock Exchange in 1984. And I didn't get a full reason on why they moved from the NASDAQ to the New York Stock Exchange, but I'm thinking because it was a possibility that they grew too rapid. So I think they had a lot more shares, so the New York Stock Exchange would be a better fit for their company. As in growth, they're one of the fastest retail stores that grew in U.S. history to grow. They celebrated their 100th store in 1989, and they started in 1978. So that's a big growth from going from 2 department stores in Atlanta, Georgia, to 100 stores within almost 11 years, and in almost I think it was 38 states that they covered, and at that time it was about 6 of them were internationally. Current data is the next slide that I want to talk about. Just to do an update of their CEO, who is Frank Blake. He was appointed in 2007. And then just to jump down into numbers, as in stock price, they started in 1984 as in for 42 cents. I didn't get a previous number for when they started in 81 when they were in the NASDAQ. So my starting price that I got was 0.42, which is 42 cents. And then now for the current year, they're at $73.85. They started right now currently for store-wise, they're huge. They have almost 2,200 stores nationally and internationally. So we're talking about American islands, territories. We're talking Canada, China, and Mexico. They've reached out onto different continents, bringing a lot of revenue, and also acquiring other businesses under their incorporation or their Inc. of Home Depot. So they're just not only Home Depot, but have smaller branches and sub branches underneath them. We're gonna get into their income statement, and now, as you can see, the gross profit has been increasing since 2010 to 2013. Just to dive back a few years when the market wasn't doing too good in 2008 and 2007, especially in the home market, a lot of people weren't buying into their homes and doing a lot of upgrading in their housing. So Home Depot did take a hit, but now that you can see, since then they have grown and increase their net profit and their net earnings. So they're doing pretty well, as you can see. Their net earnings for right now for 2010 was $2 billion, and right now, as February 3rd of 2013, their increase has been is at $4 billion right now. So that's a big jump. The next set of numbers I really want to talk to you about is the inventory and cost of goods sold. And for inventory in 2011, they had $10,625,000 worth of inventory, and decreased in 2012. And to go to 10 million, 325 million. And for cost of goods sold, you can also see the decrease in the numbers. And what I'm tying this to is the average, which is going to be on the next slide, is the average days held in inventory and the rate of return. For both years that they use, for both years of 2011, 2012, they used the FIFO method, which all of us pretty know. Just to jump into the equations. So to get into Home Depot versus the industry one more time about the turnover rate and the average days inventory is held. For HD, they had a 3.82% per day. Like that's how long it usually took them to spend out their entire inventory, compared to the industry where it took them almost a day and a half more than Home Depot. That's showing that management is doing a great job of making sure that everything is getting marketed correctly, that customer service is key, and they're just doing an overall great job of allocating everything within the organization. So now average days of inventory held really shows how long is Home Depot or the industry holding their inventory, as in the stock inventory. So for Home Depot, they're holding their inventory on a 6-day basis, whereas the industry in the tire is holding their inventory on a 7-day basis. So it's not a big difference, but it just shows that Home Depot is beating out most of the industry, and which is in a case a great example, showing, and especially showing that they're the leaders in their industry. Now, to tie this all together, so at the end, the overall idea of what revenue, the increase in revenue, the growth in the company, the turnover of inventory means is all under the umbrella of customer service. They lead what Home Depot prides himself is leading the industry in customer service. They do things like do it-yourself clinics. They also provide training for power tools. They really do a lot of research so that they're pleasing their customers first before looking into the factors of maximizing the strategy to also increase the profit, the revenue on a yearly basis. By pleasing their customers, they do that instead of being. I know it seems like it is a strategy, but the way that a business is run is by pleasing their customers first and worrying about the bills on the afterburner. So, an overall, the overall idea, what I felt compelled this was a quote that I took from the shareholders letter, which is where at the end of the day, which this came from the CEO. At the end of the day, we're in the people's business, and that right there shows that they're going more for the pleasing of shareholders and customers. So if there's any questions or comments, please email them to me at orlandoharvey29@gmail.com, and I'll definitely get back to you guys with answering your questions and taking in your comments. Thank you.